boom, 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 chicka, 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 boom, 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 chicka. So today I want to talk about age verification. So age verification, you should go watch some videos and then come back here to know what age verification is. The videos to watch are in the description. So now that you've watched some videos, here's what it could mean for me. Okay? So some Linux might support age verification, some Linux might not. This could make some Linux illegal in my state. Now I'll hint at where I'm at. I'm in Washington, and I won't tell you any other things than that about where I'm located. But if age verification comes to Washington, then in the same form as California or any of the more restrictive states, that could make some Linux illegal. And that could make my network ruined. That's the first thing. First of all, if they try to tell me that I have to redo everything with something that supports age verification, I'm ruined, because how can I get all new equipment and everything? I can't. And if they decide that age verification, that some distros are illegal, hopefully mine will... See, it's causing a bigger problem that people aren't adding age verification than it is causing me a problem that people are adding age verification. You should know that. But see, in the distros that I use for servers, you can't get those components anywhere else. So I'm going to have to do a whole lot of relearning, and hopefully I can relearn if my distros don't support age verification. And then if my main one doesn't support it, I'm kind of in trouble too, because first of all, I can't use it. And then what am I supposed to do for an operating system? Go back to Windows? And that would ruin me, because I've spent all this time and effort into Linux, and it's just not possible to go back. And then the third way it could ruin me is that I bet my setup scripts, because they modify the OS in certain ways, will be counted as an operating system under those laws. And then the problem with that is if they don't support it, I'm supposed to support it. So the first change I had to make immediately, no one under 18 can come in my apartment now, and all my development areas, I had to mark them off just like they're like alcohol places, as you can't come in here, to give myself enough time to implement the features. I'm sure it's okay to test things and develop. If it's not even okay to do that, the whole world's in trouble. So it must be okay to develop software and make it work and add those age verification in there. So I will have to add age verification if my distros don't do it. And that could suddenly make my distros okay, but I mean, come on, it's a big issue. And then, if it's okay to use software that doesn't have age verification still, if it's like legacy software or something like that, that'll help. But basically, I could be looking at reverting way back to my 2-year-old state because I can't function without computers. I could be looking at having to compute the budget by hand totally because I had to shut down my computers because they're no longer legal to actually run anymore. I could be having to look at that. And my disability kind of makes me need those things. I'm going to be literally functioning like a 2-year-old if, depending on how things go. Now, it could not all be doom and gloom. It could be okay. But that's what could happen, and if you see me disappear online too, that could be what happened. Is that I had to back out of everything for age verification's sake. Alright. Talk to you later, I hope. Because so far I'm safe. But it is kind of a disability issue in the first place. Alright, bye. Okay, so the first problem with implementing age verification in my case is that I have no idea how to do it. I haven't got that deep in the system yet. And that's the first problem with it. Doing it myself. Because if I had any idea how to do it, then I don't know, I might have done something like that a long time ago, just because it might make sense or something. Now, the second problem besides that is that so I won't be able to distribute my scripts or anything because They count as an operating system, and I could be in big trouble if I don't implement age verification if they didn't do it for me. At the higher ups, that is, so. And then problem number 2 with implementing age verification is that you have to implement it across multiple operating systems with my setup scripts, possibly. And it's like, what? Change multiple operating systems in order to do it? Instead of just making the necessary changes? And then second of all, problems with the law in the first place, in California, because that's the one I know the most about, is that my light bulbs are gonna count as that, and my printer's gonna count as that. They both have, both the printer and the light bulbs have operating systems. So are you gonna count those? Am I gonna have to prove I'm over 18 and set up an account to use my light bulbs? So am I gonna be without light until I do that? When I get things working, and just a whole bunch of things are smart that are gonna be affected. And it's like, okay, great. And hey, technically, isn't Amazon Echo and Google Home, aren't those operating systems? Because they provide those kind of features. So aren't those operating systems, are those gonna need it too? And so there's all these questions about the law. So I don't know, maybe it's not too late. The only thing is, thank goodness I'm not in California, or I would have to shut down my stuff right away, because it's the only way I could comply with all the laws. I would just have to shut it down and become a 2-year-old and need 24-hour support. And how are they going to give me 24-hour support with my brain? Am I going to have to move into a group home because I need 24-hour support? And I can't get it any other way? And so I'm gonna have to move into a group home just because now there's age verification. Without the age verification, I don't have to move into a group home. With the age verification, I have to live in a group home for the rest of my life, or some nursing home, or be stuck in a hospital never having any services, because just when it would be possible to adapt myself out of that situation if we just didn't have age verification. So, yeah. Those are my problems with it. And really, my problems come from just not implementing the stupid thing. Okay, that was a great video. Please like the video if you like it, dislike if you dislike it, and subscribe to see more videos like this one. As you can see, this takes effort and resources, so if you can afford it, please use Patreon for financial support. I'm not planning on doing this as a job right now, but every little bit will help me out. Also, right now I just make them for a hobby and to inform the world. And I hope you are supporting other creators whom you like as well. I'll see you later.